The biggest pain that you have in your heart, if you are an expert and you're feeling guilty, you feel guilty that there is a lot that you can contribute, and there is a lot that you can achieve and accomplish in your life, and which would help your family, which would help your organization, which would help you, manifest those dreams that you're looking forward. But the biggest problem is that you're not launching yourself. And what could be the reason that you are holding yourselves back? I've been there. It's been around 28 years since I have been doing multiple things. I've been into speaking, training, coaching, leadership, uh, with multiple industries and organizations. I've traveled with world class trainers and world class coaches personally. And I've traveled with hundreds and hundreds of experts who never launch themselves, who never speak about, what they really want to speak into this world, speak into existence. There are experts and leaders I've seen in organizations, companies. They always have this guilt that, somebody who's just 10% of their expertise, somebody who's just 10% of their potential is making big in the industry, and they feel guilty that they are not being visible enough. But then by evening everything is normal, and uh, they go back home with guilt, and they're sad that they're not able to create everything that they wanted to create. But what could be the reason? There are many many reasons, but here's what I felt: the strongest reason is just that you're not respecting the desire that you have. See, for instance, the moment there is a desire you have, you see something possible, you see something that you can do in the next 10 years, in the next 20 years, and you feel that it'll be worth it. The time, the efforts, the money, the resources, the sacrifices, everything will be worth it. But then you disregard that desire in your heart, and you feel as if you know uh, you'll not be good enough, or you are not good enough to chase that dream, or to work towards it. There might be multiple reasons, and there are the most foundational reason is that you are not owning your authority. And I've been there. I've helped dozens of people transcend that barrier, psychological barrier. But let's talk about the desire and what do we do with this desire. So let's understand fundamentally, if you have a desire, what are you doing with this desire? And what could be the reason that universe is inspiring you? It's not motivating you. It where do you get this desire? There might be a trigger outside, there might be some catalyst on the outside, but where is the meaning of that desire being formed? It's always inside. And what do we do with it? So whether you accomplish your desire, you create, and you become the kind of person that you want to become, depends upon what do we do with the desire. And it's also, studies have been done that what you do with any thought or any desire that awakens inside you, in the first few seconds decides the chances of success with that desire. Now the thing is that the kind of belief, the strong belief that you have for very trivial things in life, very small things in life, do you have the same strong belief towards the bigger, the most important things that matter in life? For small things, you argue with people and you take a stand for yourself. But when it comes to very strong things in your life, you find excuses, and And I'm not saying you to blame you. It's just, I'm using this, but I include myself. There are hundreds of times that I did not believe in the biggest of my dreams. And there are dozens of times when I sacrificed the most important things in my life. And maybe, at that point of time, and the sacrifices were huge when I believed in something. Now, fundamentally, what I was doing is, I was creating an opportunity for me to focus on that desire. Did I have the resources with me to, create and make it possible? Of course, no. 99% out of 100 times, we never have the resources for anything that we want to create. But when the risk is less, when the sacrifices are low, and you see the possibility very easily, you assume that you have all the resources. And in that false assumption, which is a good one, nature helps you to work and make progress. But the moment your mind imagines that the sacrifice will be big and the challenges will be big and that you don't have resources, you'll have to work hard, and then you start assuming that it's not going to be possible. And that is the reason most experts are holding themselves back from being visible, more and more visible and valuable in their industry. At the same time, they feel guilty because inside they're very well aware that they're not doing something that they must, or they're feeling called to. And the more they engage and allow themselves to stay stuck in this feeling of guilt, the more they are solidifying it, the more they are concretizing it, the more strength they are giving it time to develop. And the biggest problem, once again, what could be the reason? See, basically, what could be the reason is that we are mostly not brought up in cultures where desiring is good, where being over ambitious is good. And so we think that it's very selfish to work towards your own desires. But we generally forget that a desire is a seed of creation. It need not necessarily be selfish unless you are being a taker. You are just looking at what will I get out of it, and you are looking for, something that you expect from the outside, some benefits or something that you. Now, when the benefits are a natural outcome of what you are creating and what you are doing, and your natural, when you are making a natural effort to express the desire, to speak about it, to start taking tiny actions towards it, and you are detached of the result. And I'm not saying that you don't desire the result, but if you're obsessed about the result, and if you're obsessed about, you know, the desire that you visualize, you slowly start getting attached with it. And this is what, in Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna speaks about. The emphasis was on detachment. And that is what is true karma yoga. When you are taking action and you know the results that you want to create, but you are not attached to the desire. See, the moment you are not attached to the desire, universe is free to use your resources and energy. And possibly universe allows you to learn more from through this experience, and you become the space for the universe to make bigger things possible and manifest and materialize things which will be of greater good, not just for you, not just for your family, but for hundreds of people around you. And that is when you allow the desire to materialize and to attract the resources that it needs for its materialization. And slowly, that is how you position yourself as an authority, because you are not scared of being judged, because you are not even attached to the result. And you don't bother. There are always people who will connect with you only when you allow them to connect with you. And that's going to be possible when you are connected to your desire and when you are connected to your own self. And this happens when you are not attached to something on the outside. That does not mean that you don't work hard. That does not mean that you don't put in effort. That doesn't mean that you're not expecting good results. But you're okay with anything that comes after you have contributed 100% of your action, which is karma. And the karma begins right this moment. And the beginning of karma is how you handle the desire, how you allow the desire, how you nurture the desire, how you think of options and possibilities, and start taking tiny actions in the form of thought. Your thought is the primary karma, which is where the energy that you emit is somewhere where your karma begins. And most people regard desire in a very selfish way, because they feel that they're being takers. And chances are that you are being a taker. Instead, if you look at it like universe wants to create something through you, and which is why it has planted a desire in you. It could be a professional goal. It could be a career goal. It could be a health goal. It could be a financial goal. Remember that universe is always creating, and it's looking for channels. It's looking for conduits. It's looking for, you know, people through whom it can express its maximum potential. And the only way you can be the best channel and you can become a high impact change maker is by allowing yourself to become an expression of this desire. You could be in any industry. Everything around us is meant for us, meant for helping us evolve and express our potential and expanding our capacities. And the most fundamental capacity of us, as human beings, is about being a human being. And desire is a catalyst that's allowing us to be more of a human being. So instead of feeling selfish about it, explore with it, experiment with it, and write down all your desires and see what's inspiring you the most, and see what could be possible for you, for everyone around you, when you allow yourself to take action on this desire and allow it some time in your energy and look for options, even if you don't have the resources. And that is when you will stop being an unread book in your industry, and you will look at opportunities to share your wisdom, share your experiences, share your knowledge, and you will become a creator from being a consumer in your industry. And you are frustrated because you're consuming more and creating lesser than what you think is possible. And this is a desire This is your innate desire to express its maximum potential. If you allow it, you'll stop feeling guilty about it. You'll stop feeling frustrated. You'll allow yourself to be more and more visible, and you'll start creating more in your everyday life, at your office and work, and anywhere that you are, in order to share all that you have learned through this life. And that is what is going to help you become an authentic influencer. Because this is what authentic influence is. You can share only what you have, you can give only what you have. And when you start doing that, you find a balance between consuming and creating. And when you find that tilt, more, and when you start becoming more and more of a creator, you'll start feeling proud of yourself, and you will overcome this resistance to become an expert, to become a high impact change maker, from just being a reluctant expert in your industry. Try this. Take about 45 minutes of time and write down all the desires that you have. See how many desires come up and what inspires you the most. Let's meet in the next video. Thank you so much. Love you. Bye bye.